That's double success, Micah.
Yeah, you know, you're going to be impartial and you feel sorry for Burnley, but being from Leeds, you want Leeds to do well. And it's an incredible story.
Did you see that coming today?
No, I didn't. I thought they maybe could have got a draw. I thought Burnley would win at home. You know, Newcastle didn't have much to play for. We know Newcastle are a good side, but I didn't see it. Jesse Marsch has done a brilliant job coming in, not really having much to work with, big injuries, and to keep him up, it was massive. After 16, 17 years out of the Premier League, you go back into the Championship, it might be another 16, 17 years before you're back. So to stay up, they can build on that and look forward now.
Yeah, who said it was a good decision to get rid of Sean Dyche at Burnley? Crazy. Sean Dyche.
Do you think that's what's cost them?
Mike Jackson's done well in fairness, but it was
okay, but Sean Dyche would have done a good job if he was given the opportunity till the end of the season. He's been there, he's done it, him and his staff. And when he left, we were saying, oh, there's been a reaction, there's been a reset. Rubbish. They paid a heavy price for it. They should have stuck with Sean Dyche. Proven manager, great quality, done a brilliant job. No sympathy for Burnley.
Yeah, big gamble that didn't pay off for Burnley. Spurs decided to send for Antonio Conte earlier this season, and that gamble has certainly Norwich on this final day. Harry Kane on the score sheet. 2 goals for Kulusevski and 2 as well for Heung-min Son. What an extraordinary season he's had.
Son, incredible. Brilliant player. He gets better and better alongside Harry Kane. Some great players. The 2 players they brought in as well in midfield. Kulusevski's been a really, really good signing. Bentancur. Yeah, he's turned it around. It just shows you get a good manager that knows the game, knows what to do, get the best out of the player.
Should go down as something a bit special today.
Yeah, it was a huge decision, but it's great when you have them options on the bench. Quality players who are proven at this level. It's just you're trying to keep players happy, and he obviously was forced into it a bit at half-time. We thought Fernandinho's getting caught on the counter-attack. His pace was a problem. And sometimes your hand is forced. You have to take a gamble, but what a substitution. Obviously, credit to the manager, but credit to the player who came on and got up to speed pretty quickly. I've seen it before where subs come on and they take a while to get going. And even with Sterling here, you know, he's 1v1. You know where he's going to go. But again, poor defending, great ball in. Gundogan, poor defending the back post, but lovely. And that was obviously the huge goal. The momentum changed. And it's one of the biggest words in sport, momentum. But excellent play by Sterling. Give him half a yard. Brilliant. But so simple.
That was the spark, Micah.
Yeah, that was the spark. 2 subs involved. Sterling to Gundogan, making that late midfield run into the box, and that's what was missing. That's exactly what they needed.
But also a little bit of calmness, a bit of composure when it was needed.
Exactly that. And he you know, Zinchenko came on as well. And look at that, just for
that's a hard thing.
You know, the technique to do that, to place it, to get the power, because like we've seen throughout the game, they were snatching at things, and it was just about having a little bit of composure. And the goalkeeper has got no chance. It really is a top finish, the way he just guides it into the net.
3 goals in 5 breathless minutes. And this place, the roof almost came off, Micah.
It's Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, you know, he had a average game by his standards, but when he mattered, he came alive, and this ball across. And this is what Gundogan does. If you make the back run to the back post, you'll get tappings left, right and centre. In the first half, Mahrez had many chances where he could have went in there. He didn't gamble, and that was a difference in the second half. It really was.
He scored both goals in exactly the same position. Just waiting at the back post. Nothing clever. The first goal, he's waiting in there. He realises it's a good position. He's very good in the air. We know he scores a goal. Last year, he got plenty of goals from midfield. And the second one, again, just waits on that back post. It's almost like goal hanging to a certain extent. I thought, what did Pep say to him? What's the clever recipe? Just get on that back post and score me a brace. Sometimes it's simple.
We're all guilty of complicating the game sometimes. You know, coaches and managers, pundits. But it's about getting the balls in the right area and get players attacking it. Obviously, they have to gamble more to get more bodies in the box. Ball into the right area, and it's got them over the line in terms of winning the league title, just by simplifying it.
Everyone's talking about Pep overthinking things. Today, you know, when he's genius moves, brings on Gundogan, gets you 2 goals. Sterling gets the assist as well. It's absolutely brilliant. People, 4 in 5 years. Yes, in Europe, they've been, you know...
He got it right.
But he probably made a mistake.
I'll tell you what, Mike, you say that, and he did. He got it right. You can't blame... But if that would have gone wrong, that first half, the way that you performed in the back 4, he would have got a lot of criticism. If you would have lost today, but it just shows you how things can change. You need that little bit of luck.
He had to react, didn't he?
Yeah,
Started with Cancelo, left back, didn't work. Fernandinho, John Stones, right back. It didn't work. He changed the system, and everyone who came on made an impact with it, and that's what you want as a manager.
Viewers who are joining us from Sky Sports Premier League have been watching full coverage of Liverpool's game against Wolves. Do you think this might, Roy, have been different had the scoring just worked out slightly differently in the second half? If Liverpool hadn't taken so long to get going?
Yeah, but it's all ifs and ands. The bottom line, the biggest challenge City faced today was what was in front of them. And that was an Aston Villa team that were neat and tidy, looked sharp, looked a goal threat. And when you're 2-0 down, and you know, deep down we all know that Liverpool probably score late on, particularly in front of the Kop. You know you have to score 3 goals to win the title. That's huge pressure. That's where the credit goes to these players. For all their technical brilliance, this desire to keep going, to get late goals, go back to the squad of players, subs coming on, but subs coming on and impacting the game, not coming on and going, I'll just try and get up to speed. No, you've got to hit the ground running. So credit to them for all that. And Pep's one of the greatest coaches ever. I know people say constantly, well, he's worked with the top players, but you still got to manage them. You've got to have a style of play. They've been so consistent over the years. They're the hardest working team in the league. Well, them and Liverpool, it's obviously a close call between them. That comes from him. It's like Klopp at Liverpool. They start the ball rolling, and then everyone else follows in behind.
92 points, and Liverpool are bridesmaids after an extraordinary season. They could still win 3 cup competitions. It's not been too bad.
An incredible season, incredible. And both of them have set such high standards. They've pushed each other. There'll be so much pride in what they've achieved. Now it's about rallying, getting yourself ready. You've got an amazing week to look forward to, a Champions League final in another opportunity to win another trophy. Of course they'd have wanted the Premier League, and for a little while at half-time, 55, 56 minutes, they'd have probably dreaming that, what we could do the quadruple. It wasn't to be, but they can look at this season with so much pride. The numbers and the points that they've achieved, and the performances from those players and the manager, it's been sensational. These two are so far ahead of anyone else in the league. No one's even going to get close to them next year. Haaland's going to only improve this Man City side. Liverpool are going to get better as well.
Well, we talk about the pace they've set and the way they've pushed each other, and you try and work out where Liverpool have fallen short. Yes, they had a sticky-ish start to this season, but they dropped points in 5 of the first 11 games, but they've taken 50 out of the last possible 54.
But that tells you how brilliant Man City are. If you have a record
to follow as well.
Fantastic. You can't give Liverpool enough praise. Absolutely brilliant manager, brilliant group of players. Again, a fantastic squad. The season's not over yet. At least they won today. I think if they slipped up themselves today, but they'll be disappointed with Aston Villa not getting the job done here. But Liverpool, again, a fantastic season.
You're not missing anything, incidentally. The fans having a bit of fun, lifting their own inflatable trophies, but they're just setting up the presentation areas. So when that is all ready to go, we'll take you straight to it. Huge heartache around Turf Moor this afternoon. Burnley changed manager a few weeks ago. Sean Dyche was sacked and Mike Jackson stepped in, and he is heartbroken this evening because his team just fell short on this final day. They got themselves out to the bottom 3 with a point at Villa Park on Thursday. And they had chances. Wout Weghorst had one. There was a chance for Maxwell Cornet at the end as well. But by defeat against Newcastle, they have seen Leeds overtake them at the last step. It's a difficult one, isn't it, Jamie? Which way next for a Burnley side who've had a change of ownership as well this season? There's a lot of talk about where their finances might be heading.
We're talking about first we've got to get a manager in place for next season. Full-term manager. Vincent Kompany, your old mates had a mention. They'll obviously be financially well rewarded, to be honest. They'll get 80 million probably for even going down, which is still going to help them bounce back. They're going to have to make sure they get their finances right. The goalkeeper, what will he do? Nick Pope, there's going to be clubs certainly wanting him. He's an amazing keeper. Tarkowski as well, talking about other clubs wanting him. That's what they're going to have to be really clever and make sure to prepare themselves to try and come back. Now, I know how those players feel. I know them. I've been in that situation when you get relegated. It's heartbreaking. But you've got to pick yourselves up and get ready for next season and try and get back where you want to be, playing in the Premier League.
Could be a big turnover of players as well. There were as many as 9 senior players out of contract there in the summer. So it's going to be a very different Burnley that we see in the Championship, potentially with a new manager at the helm next season. We'll take you downstairs because
making sure and give their all.
See City have the balance right. When you're winning, everybody's happy.
Are we looking at a new dynasty of success, Micah, as we discussed before the game?
I think with football, it's always evolving. When a team's on top, they'll be like, oh, well, next season they'll win it. It's not like that. We've seen how good this Liverpool side is. Chelsea will want to improve once they sort their their ownership out as well. Man United have got a new coach and they want to reset. So it's not as easy as just saying, OK, Man City have got all the money, they've got the best players, they're going to win. It doesn't happen like that. Liverpool pushed them right to the end today. And
what they're achieving right now, and when you want something so badly, they want the Champions League, of course. But I look at this team with so much admiration. The club, the manager. It's so easy in the modern day to waste money, to throw money at problems and everything, and hope that it's all going to fit together. What they have done here is they've managed to get everything right. The mentality from the top to the bottom, and you've seen it today. The way they've come back from that shows you it's not just about skill, it's about having something inside you, and that comes from the manager. It really does, and it was an incredible achievement today. It comes from 2 down.
Jamie, is the key in it. This will go down as one of the greatest teams in the Premier League because they're consistent. That's the key. You know, we see teams have a good season every now and again and disappear, but these top players keep producing, and that's why they deserve huge credit. Do it season in, season out.
But because of this position they've been in this season, at one stage, remember, they led by 14 points, and Liverpool have edged closer and closer. There has been a real pressure on them to get over the line today. Do you think the first emotion might actually be relief?
It will be relief when you're 2-0 down and you know you've got to win a football match. That's where the challenges come. But the beauty is, for all they've been through the course of the season, whatever you're on about the points, total goals for, you get that medal. It doesn't matter how you got there, whether you obviously tripped up once or twice, but you get back up and you keep going. So this City team, they're magnificent. You're 2-0 down at home today. 20 minutes to go. You have to win the match against, an Aston Villa team that were a threat certainly going forward. You always felt they'd concede, and to get over the line in terms of the mental strength, the desire. I'll go back to that word, what they got after the first goal, that momentum, and they plugged into that.
Better than your 99 team?
No, they're not that good.
But it reminded me a little bit of United today. The amount of times you did that, we'd roll the dice, you'd throw men on and just take risks and a bit of chaos, and that's what you did so often.
Towards the end, we saw in the first half where City were still getting in good areas and they were putting balls in the box, and we were critical of players not necessarily getting in the box, and people Mahrez staying out. Why you going? No, you got to get bodies in the box. That's what maybe the good teams I played, and when the balls were going in, there was 5-6 attacking it. You're going, this is a law of averages. Hopefully one will get in the end of it. And that's what we saw when they were 2-0 down. When the balls are going in, you're going, now there's 4, 5, maybe 6 attacking it, whereas in the first half it was maybe 1 or 2. And there was an element of panic, but it's good. Sometimes it's good to panic.
And once it was done, once the hard work was over and behind you, how much did you enjoy these moments?
Oh, it was great. Well, obviously, back in the old days, you would just drink as much as you could for a few minutes. Because it is relief. Because when you're playing for Man City, a big club, when I was at United, there's an expectation that you're supposed to win. So relief would certainly be the first emotion that would come to you after a game, that you got over the line, you didn't leave your family or your fans down, and you'd done it. And enjoy it. But, in a few weeks, you got to get going again. That's the nature of the beast.
How important is it, Micah, that they do enjoy these moments?
They have to. When we first won the Premier League, it was more disbelief. We couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, the Aguero moment. But a lot of these players have won the Premier League before. I'm so happy for Jack Grealish. I know he didn't get on today, but
he was the first to run on at the full-time whistle and went straight to Gundogan.
Because it means so much, for all the stick he's took all season. Coming into the Man City side, everyone expects you to just come into the side and be incredible. It don't work like that sometimes. You've got to fight. There's loads of people who give him a stick, calling him flop of the season. It's absolutely ridiculous. He doesn't care. He's got a Premier League in his back pocket now.
Jack's done okay, but he'll need to do better next year.
Of course, he can improve. But we talk about the system. A lot of players come in there. Rodri struggled.
But you also told us before the game, that feeling inside of him is that he didn't contribute today. Will he feel that there's something missing, perhaps?
Well, I didn't contribute on the last game. I thought I was a cert to start.
Talking about the Aguero game.
Aguero, me and Zabaleta was.
They played stopped you talking about it.
Well, I know, but they played Traore on that left side with his pace. I thought I'd be, to nullify the threat. I didn't play, but it doesn't matter. It's over the course of the season. If it's a Champions League final and you don't play, it might hurt a little bit more. But it's 38 games and he's done more than enough to deserve us.
Today it might. Tomorrow I'm sure he'll be fine.
Hey, what about Phil Foden? Not yet 22, 4 Premier League titles.
Amazing. It's the same with the numbers of Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. 2 young players that are just 2 local boys, 2 boys that have come through the academy. Amazing achievements from both of them. But Phil's a very special talent, and we talk about so much of how many players have come into the club. But sometimes it's the one that's homegrown that it means the most to. They're the ones that the family